Welcome to Wonder Dream Wander, a Walt Disney World podcast.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Ron.
Grab your ears, grab your magic bands, and buckle up because today we are embarking on a most magical journey on Earth.
Woo-woo. Whether you're a lifelong Disney buff, a total noob, a childless millennial like Amanda and I, or a family, we will cover all the best ins and outs of Walt Disney World travel.
So, with a little bit of pixie dust, we're off to episode 4.
Episode 4, What to Pack. Today we will discuss the most important things to pack on your Walt Disney World trip that you might forget and what you can leave at home. We are excited to welcome a special guest today, Brendan. I mentioned Brendan in episode 2 when talking about the Raglan Road restaurant in Disney Springs. He is another out-of-state Disney annual pass holder as well, and we became fast friends over our love of the House of Mouse. Say hi, Brendan.
Hi, Brendan. And hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Brendan and I became friends online, and we met in person for the first time at the Magic Kingdom gates, and the rest is history.
History. We even finish each other's sentences.
So, open your suitcase and you're ready to pack for Disney. Let's start at the beginning, guys. Packing cubes. So, packing cubes, compression cubes, not only help you make space in your bag, but also keep your items organized. If you're packing one bag for multiple people, packing liquids that might spill, you want to keep those in a waterproof cube, or you're dividing outfits by day. It also helps when you're packing to come back home. You can keep your dirty clothes in a separate cube after you've worn them.
Remember to leave room for souvenirs. I like to pack a lightweight collapsible duffel in my checked luggage for souvenirs. Then on my return trip, I use that as my carry-on.
I've never used the cubes.
They're a
The packing
godsend.
cubes.
They're
Are they really?
really.
So how do you separate them? Or do you each cube is a different category? Undies, socks?
Yeah, so what I usually do is I take a cube for toiletries and things like that. I take a cube for undergarments, socks, maybe pajamas,
Okay.
casual stuff. And then I'll take another cube for t-shirts, shorts, another cube for maybe dress clothes or dresses. And it keeps everything really compact. When I went on a
Wow,
cruise, I
okay.
had this big dress for the evening night, and it was this huge dress that just took up a lot of space, but I was able to crunch it into this tiny little cube, and it just completely saved so much space in my bag. And
Wow, I'll probably try that now.
Yeah, it made things so much easier and made a lot more room in my bag. And when I get to a trip, I like to unpack everything so that I see what I have. So
Exactly.
after I do that, after I unpack what I have, then as I've worn it, I just toss it back into a cube, and all the dirties go away. And that way I know what I've used, what I have, and it just has made travel a lot easier in recent years.
Oh, that's great. I'm going to try that because just like you said, you get to the hotel room, you unpack, lay everything out on the bed, and you see what well, in my case, I get to see what I packed, an hour before I was supposed to leave for the airport.
I meticulously make lists. I try to, especially with Disney World, I try to theme my clothes for the park that I'm going to, so I kind of plan
that's a good
out
point.
ahead of time what I might be wearing. And a lot of times I go when it's really hot, so all of my clothes are smaller. It's not like I'm packing big sweatshirts. I'm packing tank tops and shorts. So I can fit multiple outfits in a cube, but I might also put my ears or, whatever accessories I'm bringing or things I might need for the day. So
about an hour before I'm supposed to leave for the airport, I have this Disney drawer. It's break glass for emergency. You just take the drawer, you put it in the bag, and you go.
Well,
So
I mean, that's definitely convenient, but then all your pictures look the same because you've always worn the same stuff. And so
exactly.
can't do that.
It's like I never left.
But when I went with Ron to Disney, so I don't wear the ears because they give me a headache.
Yeah.
And it floored me that Ron had not only like one pair of ears per day. No, it was like, this is my ears for this ride. This is my ears for that ride.
For ride, right.
And this is my shirt for this ear. And this is
I'm gonna
goes
have
hard.
to do like an ears tour because they're like right above me actually.
That'd be great.
And I have literally one head, like 100 pairs of ears. So, and they're from all over the place. Like I get them the special ones for like special places. So I have ones from Aulani. I have ones from Tokyo Disney.
Oh,
Yeah, like I try to get them from wherever I go that's like special to that place.
episode 5.
Now maybe
And
that'll
even if
just
she
be like
isn't
an
there.
Instagram like reel or something.
That'd be
And
cool.
even if she isn't there, I remember getting a message once, and she was like, "Please get me these ears," and they hadn't even come out yet. And
That's so
I'm
funny.
going to like every store, and I'm like, she swears they're out, and they're like, they're not out.
I
yet."
saw
They're like
them.
the Swarovski ones.
I believed.
Will you give me the diamond ones, please? Just while you're there, I might pay you back.
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't spend more than like, you know, a reasonable amount, like $30.
How much are they these days?
Like 30 or $40, I guess. It depends on what's on them or if they're like a special edition thing. But every now and then they
Mhm.
come out with some outrageous collaboration, like Dooney and Burke or
Right.
Coach or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not spending that much money on those.
I'm a big
ears.
Dooney guy.
Are you?
If I see like
I
a
hate
cool
Dooney.
Dooney magic band, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like if I don't get that now, I'll never have it.
I do have the one. I don't know if it's a Dooney. I have the one that's like the anniversary one. I don't think it's a Dooney, but it had like that special buckle on it that kind of looked like
Oh, the gold buckle there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I think we both got one that day.
Yeah. But I'm not a Dooney fan, like at all. I don't own anything by Dooney.
I just like to look fancy while I walk like to Starbucks.
You are fancy. You're very fancy.
Poor habits.
All right, let's keep going, friends. So, the week before your trip, absolutely check the weather for Orlando, Florida. And as Veronica will tell you, I'm not going to spoil it, but I shall tell you, the weather can be unpredictable or predictable. It
Mhm.
can rain at any time, even if it isn't in the forecast. Also, depending what you go, it can cool down at night. You know, I remember one year I went for my birthday, and that's literally why I'm wearing the sweater. So if the video's out there, this is the sweater I wore for my birthday. And the locals were there in parkas. And so personally, I would pack layers if you're, visiting in the winter, especially if you're from like a northern state like we are. We're used to the colder winters. So, hanging out in a sweater and a hoodie was absolutely fine. So ponchos, rainwear, packing that can save you money if you pack ahead of time and you won't be rushing into the little stores for the plastic ones. Definitely pack a swimsuit if you're visiting a water park or your hotel pool. And don't forget to bring any plastic bags or Ziploc bags for wet clothing if you don't intend to go right back to your hotel room after. Personally, I like to pack my liquids in Ziploc bags, and that way I have them with me already.
Yes, so as Amanda was saying, the weather can be unpredictable. There is a phenomena I like to call 3 p.m. showers. Almost every time I've gone to Disney World, there has been a midday random shower that maybe only happens for like 20 minutes and then just stops abruptly. I can't explain it, but it happens more often than not. And after that, the air is really humid and muggy and uncomfortable. That being said, hair ties are a must if you have a hair blanket like me. Headbands or handkerchiefs should be clipped in to prevent loss on rides. Aside from hair care during rainfall, I also like to bring a pair of flip-flops. They take up very little space in your bag, they dry easily, and it's much easier to dry your bare feet than it is to walk around in soggy socks and sneakers after a storm. If you're bringing a small bag into the parks, you can just tie your shoes to your bag while you're wearing flip-flops.
I don't think I ever told you this, but whenever we have like the 3 p.m. showers, I'm always like, it's Veronica's. She's somewhere.
You're just thinking of me from afar. It
It's your
happens every
fault.
time.
Every day, I swear, at 3 p.m., they can control the weather. Did you know that?
The bubble.
I got the article right here.
The dome.
By emitting microwaves, they can control the rain. And that way, they sell out of ponchos. So you're welcome, Disney fans.
We have to add a disclaimer here because somebody will believe that.
As for the unpredictable weather, it can be as high as 90 in December and January, and then as cool as 50 at night. In the summer, you'll be walking on the surface of the sun. Keep in mind, Disney observes the right to deny for inappropriate dress code. Crop tops, strapless, spaghetti straps are okay, shorts are okay. Some people, though, really push the boundaries. Let's keep the bits tucked in to avoid the risk. Remember, guys, this is a family theme park. The last list you want to be on is Disney's banned one.
Yes. Also, it's important to discuss costumes. Children up to 13 may wear costumes in the park. There is an experience for both boys and girls called Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, where they give your child a makeover. If you cannot snag a reservation, or if this is not in your budget, you can pre-purchase costumes for your child to wear in the park. As for the 14 and over crowd, it is very popular to Disney bound. Disney bounding is where you wear an outfit inspired by a character, but it's not actually a costume. You might wear something that's in the color scheme or kind of looks like what the character wears, but it's obviously not a costume. This is perfectly okay as long as you don't bring in any toy weapons, as those are not allowed in the parks at all and will be confiscated at security, or you will be asked to return them to your hotel. The only park that is a little bit looser on the costume rule is Hollywood Studios. They do seem to allow more costume-like Star Wars outfits, and they do sell a lot of costumes there that you are allowed to wear in the parks as well. And Brendan can attest to this because he has worn several Star Wars themed costumes.
Crop tops. Oh, you're going. Okay, yeah, Star Wars. That was a different day.
I missed the crop top day.
You're lost.
I know. Sad day. Where are those pictures, Brendan? Where?
They're online somewhere, I promise. Yeah, I did get to Disney bound for Hollywood Studios. I made up like a whole persona, like a character. I learned the language in Batu and everything. Like, oh, rising suns, homie. And so
Bright suns.
Rising moons. Whatever. But yeah, what's his name? His name was like Beck Florian. So Saint Florian. I'm a firefighter. So Saint Florian is kind of like an icon in the fire service, where he has a lot to do with the fire service. I'm going to leave it at that. But so I chose that name, and I got like firefighter patches and everything, a cool leather jacket. But I did have Harrison Ford wears like a holster on his leg in the Star Wars movies. So I added that to the costume, and they stopped me at the front gate. He's like, you can't wear that. You gotta respect like whoever's at security. So I was like, okay, but do you mind if I ask why? He's like, it's for weapons. And I grabbed a banana out of the snack bag. I put it in. I'm like, no, sir, this is my snack holder. He's like, all right, go ahead.
So I did attend the Halloween party, and if you go to a special ticketed event like the Halloween party, you are allowed as an adult to wear costumes in the park for those ticketed events. So for many of the Halloween parties, I have dressed up in costumes, and one of the costumes I did was a female Han Solo, and I wore the leg holster and had no issue. I actually purchased an Ezra Bridger lightsaber because the handle on it is like really square, and it kind of looks like a gun, but it's like, you know, folded up and like with the lightsaber tucked in and having it like folded up, it fits into the holster and it looks almost like a blaster, but it's not. It's a lightsaber that they sell in the park, and they should allow it, right? But as I was walking in, they were like, the security was kind of like iffy about whether or not to let me in. And I was like, well, it's not a gun. It's a toy that you sell here. It's a lightsaber. And they were like, oh, okay. But like at first they were like, whoa, you can wear the holster, but you can't wear the weapon. And I was like, no, you sell it here.
You
And
sell it here.
yeah. And essentially like they let me in, but they were stopping people with anything that was like remotely gun shaped or
Yeah.
nothing, something that they didn't sell there.
Right.
Oh, Halloween, since you guys brought it up, Halloween is the only day you can dress up
Yeah.
as an adult.
Well,
And-
not like any of the Halloween parties. It doesn't have to be actually Halloween, but any of the Halloween parties, which start in August. So they run from August all the way through like the first week of November.
Yeah, the first time I went on Halloween, imagine my surprise because I thought you could just never dress up. And then I felt exactly like the movie Tiana. Tiana just walked on by on her way to like past England, straight to France.
So
it's a stranger. She's like, leave me alone.
So fun fact, I have dressed as Princess Jasmine many times at the Halloween parties, and apparently I make a very convincing Princess Jasmine. And when
You
I
do.
dress up as Princess Jasmine,
Apparently.
I get stopped by families and children all over the place throughout the park wanting to take pictures, and when they see that I have like a wristband just like they do, they're like, wait, you're just a guest here, like you don't work here? I'm like, no, I don't work here. And
Yes, yes.
just a guess. Yeah. So there was one time I was by myself and I rode the magic carpets dressed as Princess Jasmine, and people were like taking videos of me. And when I got off the ride, a bunch of people started, like asking for pictures and things like that. And I was approached by like a clipboard carrying, earpiece wearing Disney's secret agent, apparently. Some like nondescript employee approached me and pulled me aside and was like, we're gonna have to ask you not to take pictures with guests and not to sign autographs. And I was like, well, I haven't signed any autographs, but like, how do you say no to children, right? They're little kids,
Right.
They don't know. So and sometimes the families were like, can my kid take a picture with you? I'm like, sure. And they were like, yeah, we're gonna have to ask you not to take pictures with guests. And I was like, okay. And then, there was a couple times that I had to tell kids no, because I was like scared that the clipboard people were
Sorry,
still
little
around.
Timmy.
Yeah, I was scared that the clipboard people were still around. But usually like 99% of the time I say yes, but I kind of like look around now. Anytime somebody asks me, I'm like, ooh, who's looking?
Right.
Don't rat me out,
You never
kid.
know. Don't mouse me. And that didn't make sense. Sounded better in my head.
Yeah,
Moving
no,
on.
I got it. Got it.
Next up is comfortable shoes. I know that this sounds like an obvious choice, but even shoes that are normally really comfortable from day to day can become uncomfortable in Disney parks. You may be surprised that after a 10, 14-mile day, your tried and true shoes may become unbearable. New shoes are definitely never recommend. And so me, despite going like every year of my life since I was like 9 years old, ended up in my last visit with sneakers that broke all of the nail beds in my big toes. And they're still healing. And I went in Halloween. And that's like over 5 months ago. 10/10. Do not recommend. Definitely plan your shoes.
I have worn shoes that I have worked all day in, worn all day, and I was like, these are so comfortable. I'm wearing them. Perfect. I get to Disney, and all of a sudden, I have blisters all over the place. I'm limping, and I'm flabbergasted as to why this is happening. So, the shoes that I know are pretty reliable in terms of comfort and wearability and long 10 to 14 mile days on are Nike Pegasus trail sneakers, a lightweight comfortable hiking sneaker. Some people really love Hokas. I think they're a little too chunky for me. I feel like my feet run into each other, but I see a lot of people wearing Hokas. And Crocs. I swear they are a godsend in the parks, especially if you get wet in the rain because they dry really fast. I used to despise Crocs. I found them hideous and offensive and so ugly. I did not like Crocs at all until one day I had unbearable shoes and I went to a shop in a Disney store and they had Croc flip-flops. And I was like, okay, well, at least they don't look as ugly as Crocs. They're still, they're a flip-flop and they don't look like Crocs. They were just the most comfortable thing I had ever worn, and I wore those flip-flops the entire rest of the trip. And after that, I was like, uh-oh, I think I like Crocs now. And yeah, so Crocs are 100% a recommend. Or a sandal with memory foam soles. Another option is memory foam inserts to shoes that you enjoy wearing. That's also a bonus. And bring an extra pair of socks with you if it rains or if you intend to go on water rides and flip-flops are not your thing.
Brendan, do you love Crocs?
Brendan loves Crocs. Look at this. So, oh my gosh. This is what I'm wearing right now.
The Mark Wazowski ones? No, the Sully?
Yeah,
These are the Sully Crocs.
The Sully Croc slippers.
What's different about these is my hand won't fit. Your toes stick out so right now, yes. My feet
so you're not
monstrous.
You're not giving free feet on Maine right now?
No, the dogs are hanging out right now, actually. You hit the nail on the head with that Crocs. Just like you said, I despised Crocs. I thought they were hideous, but then they started coming out with the themed Crocs. I think the first Disney pair was Lightning McQueen, and they even lit up every time he took a step. So I counted yesterday because I've been moving around. I have 4 pairs of the Lightning McQueen Crocs over time.
It's hilarious because they're like grown-up adult-sized Crocs that actually light up when you walk around in them. And I remember I was on a trip with Brendan and he was wearing the Lightning McQueen Crocs and one of the lights stopped lighting up and Brendan would tell people anytime somebody complimented his Crocs, he would tell them that he had a flat tire because one of the lights wasn't lighting up. Not only did Crocs brand come out with Disney-themed Crocs that you can buy on their website, but Disney Parks also comes out with their own themed Crocs that are specific to the parks, their parks merch. I have gotten from the parks their Halloween pair. I got a Christmas pair that was like fleece lined, and I got another pair that was just like parks themed. Like it has a bunch of like little logos and things from the parks on them. And now I have maybe like 5 or 6 pairs of Crocs that are, the traditional ugly stereotypical Croc style, but then I also have some other shoes and sandals by them that don't look at all like they're Crocs, but they're super comfortable. And they've fast become my favorite thing to wear in the parks. They're really
They're so easy.
Yeah.
So easy. You just slip them right on and off. And you noted with water rides and the 3 p.m. rain, it's terrible wearing a wet sneaker for the rest of the day. So Crocs, you can bring them in the bathroom and hold them under the hand dryer.
Slap them on.
Whole bathroom.
Slap them on in sport mode. Put that back strap on, and you're ready to just jet to the next ride. You're ready.
The fleece ones are your favorite, right? You said?
Well, I mean, not in the summer. I wouldn't wear them in the summer, but I do love the fleece ones. And when I went in December or January, it was actually really, really cold. I was wearing like a heavy jacket for, I was surprised that I needed to wear that. And I was wearing a pair of like Doc Martens because it was cold enough for boots, and they're normally super comfortable. But by the end of the day, I was just tired and I didn't want to be wearing boots anymore. And I bought those fleece lined ones, and they kept me warm and I was comfy, and it just felt like wearing slippers and just being cozy the rest of the night. It was perfect.
You know, just a quick add-on. I didn't bring sneakers one time. I just brought Crocs, and it came time where I was like, I need a sneaker. I went to Disney Springs. Disney Springs has tons of stores where you can buy sneakers and more Crocs.
And, you know, Crocs are a little bit bulky, so I don't like to pack like multiple pairs for one trip just because they kind of take up a bunch of space and you can't really compress them or squish them down. So I usually just pack one pair for my trip just to save the space. But I love wearing Crocs in the park. And I never ever thought that I would be the one to say that because I hated them so much.
I know.
And here we are.
It's funny how things work out. I can't wait to wear Mike Wazowski at Magic Kingdom. I'm not wearing Sully anywhere other than my living room.
Now that we've spoken about clothing and Crocs, let's talk about toiletries and extras. Aside from your normal everyday toiletries you would bring that we aren't going to mention, we want to remind you to pack travel-size spray deodorant. You're definitely going to want to reapply that throughout the day, without it making a mess of melting in your bag. Chapstick, definitely packing this. The weather there can be very humid, and also the extreme heat in the summer and the cold nights in the winter. That can definitely have you feeling very dry at the end of the day. And sunscreen, can't stress that enough. Even if you think the day isn't hot enough, even if that 3 p.m. shower is over you, the sun is still strong, and it's always best to have some sunscreen handy. What you don't need is bug spray.
Hey, fun fact. Disney strategically plants trees and different types of plants that naturally keep the pests away. Like green ones. Green ones that have names. But lastly, aloe vera, I think. Like cooling cream for the end of day Disney rash. It could be anywhere. It could be under your armpits. It could be between your knee pits. Other places that I don't want to mention because this is a family-friendly podcast.
But yeah, definitely. we call it we called it the chub rub.
The chub rub
in between your thighs. That definitely happens. But some people get just a random rash like on their arms or on their shins, around their ankles.
Yeah, the heat rash.
Yeah.
Don't take it to the parks because you don't want. The last thing you want is for it. An entire bottle of like aloe vera or similar products like my Arm & Hammer powder, the foot strength powder for my privates. It's so minty. You don't want that all over the place because people know the scent. People would be like, you'd be standing in line, you'd be like, yeah, that's Arm & Hammer.
That was like one time my friend put Tiger Balm on.
Tiger Balm, oh my god.
He put Tiger Balm on while we were on Pirates in the Caribbean.
Oh my god.
Someone in our boat was like, "What's that smell?"
They knew what that smell was.
And he put it on God. Aggressively. Like, he was, like, rubbing it all over. And I was like, stop. That stinks. Like, do that outside. The whole boat smelled like Tiger Balm. And I was, like, mortified. I was like, oh, God, who is that? Who could that be?
You play it off. Yeah, oh, my God.
What's that smell? Pew.
It has such a distinct smell.
Meanwhile, I'm giving him the side eye, like, it's you.
You did this to me.
That's right. Usually doesn't smell like this. What's going on?
Yeah, usually it's just. Oh, what's it called? What's the scene called where everything's burning? Or,
the cannonballs. It's like, they pumped a new scent into this. I'm curious.
This doesn't smell like aqua blue.
Unusual.
It smells like tiger's bum. We had a guy at the fire academy who that's what he would do. Like, that's what he was famous for, just because the smell is so strong, it's so unique. After anything we did that was physical, he'd go apply Tiger Balm. And it was just like, you'd walk in the bathroom You'd smell it. It hit your nose hairs. You'd walk right out.
So,
It is so strong.
funny enough, they sell Tiger Balm in the gift shop at the China Pavilion in Epcot. And
I believe it.
I saw it at the counter and I was like, no! Like, I was traumatized by it. I think I took a picture of it and sent it to him and I was like, God damn it, it's following me everywhere. I can still smell it years now, years later.
Get your Tiger Balm here.
All right, to my fancy girlies, don't worry guys, we'll get to you. Makeup wearers, be sure to pack a good setting spray and or shine powder. The weather and the sun in Orlando is not kind to makeup. I hate bringing makeup with me or carrying around extra unnecessary stuff in my bag when I'm in the parks, so a good setting spray to hold your face on comes in handy. I also always pack nail files and cuticle clippers. If you break a nail or catch a snag, there's nothing worse than not being able to handle that and just having it catch a snag all day long on your clothing or other things. Another handy tip, Body Glide for chafing and rubbing. I have gotten the dreaded chub rub and it can really ruin a good time, and once you get it, it's there for days, so it can ruin your whole trip. I also always wear bike shorts under dresses to increase comfort and reduce chafing. I always get the ones that have pockets. You can conveniently keep your phone or lipstick for easy access in either of the pockets. I also like taking a few Summer's Eve or feminine wipes that come in the individual single-use packets. They take up no space, and it's always nice to feel fresh whenever you want. For the guys, I also second a travel spray deodorant and dude wipes. It's nice to freshen up when you've been in the hot sun all day long, and you also never know when you gotta go. You know what I mean? Any thoughts, Brandon? As a guy?
For real, you're not kidding when you say you never know when you gotta go.
You're eating differently on this trip, okay?
You're
some
eating
people
differently, right?
not
The
used to
water, your stomach, your body is just not used to being in a different state, eating and drinking, and mixing all these different types of food. You can eat in Hawaii, and then you go hit Mexico for empanadas. So the diet is ever changing, and so I always go back to the first time and last time I ever ate in Germany. On top of walking or speed walking, it depends on your pace. Everybody's got a different pace, but you can be walking the same distance of a half marathon to a full marathon in one day. So on top of that, oh my god,
snacking.
You add that in, it's game over. Your stomach's going to be messed up. So I do not go in the restroom without those wipes.
It's really handy.
TMI, but you guys do it too.
Even if you're not using the restroom, it's just so hot and so uncomfortable that it just really does feel good to just freshen up, because you don't want to
exactly
have to, you may not be able to go back to your hotel in the middle of the day to get a rest or freshen up, or you're in the hot sun and you're just walking all day. Not only does it do you a favor, but it does the people around you a favor, keeps things fresh, and you're standing close to people in lines, and it's just nice to have something, even if it's in a tiny square individual packet that you just slip in your pocket or in your wallet or in your backpack.
They have those.
Yeah.
It's either that or Tiger Balm.
It's a big recommend. Yeah, nothing. You're not smelling any odor over Tiger Balm, so you've got two choices here.
Is that dude wipes? Absolutely not.
Yeah, definitely like the Cottonelle flushable wipes.
Yeah.
Those are a good little, and they're like flat little things you can throw in your book bag.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Some other things you may not consider bringing are a cooling towel or a hand fan. You'll see a lot of people in the parks with them. They come really in handy, especially when you're standing still in the sun waiting on lines for hours on hours. Personally, I really love this neck fan thing that Ron has that she brings to the parks. And the first time I saw her on it, like, you know, she just walked out and she added these things. They look like little Princess Leia buttons just hanging out on her neck. And I was like, what in the what are these things? So cool. They of course sell water spritzing fans in the parks, but you can save money by bringing your own from home. Another optional item that I would totally bring, refillable water bottles. I tote my Grogu water bottle. I got him here. I take him everywhere with me, especially in the Disney parks. He's in fact got a little dent when he fell out on. Of course, he would fall out in Star Tours. Star Tours is
How
when he fell out.
appropriate.
There are fountains throughout the park, but there's also quick service restaurants that give you free ice water without purchase. So you don't necessarily have to bring a bottle of water with you, but it helps minimize the number of stops you have to make. Plus, it's good for if you want to keep any leftover fountain sodas, you know, rather than throwing it away. I was even able to fill up my bottle at the cart right across from the Country Bear Jamboree. It was super hot that day, and I don't know if the woman in the cart just like saw my face or she just had like all these like extra waters and she made me fill Grogu up. So I guess my cheeks were red or something, or maybe she was like mama bearing it at the cart, but it was super nice to walk into the Country Bear Jamborees with my water bottle, knowing that I had some super cool ice water. I felt like I was like the shit, like walking in.
You know, I went on an absolute journey to find this water bottle right here.
What is it?
I have the same
This is-
one.
This is from Monsters, Inc. It actually screams, too. Let's see if it works. No, I think the battery's dead just because I play with it so often.
I think mine is dead too, but actually, as it was dying, I have it up on a shelf, and it used to just scream by itself, like as if a ghost was
Yeah, no,
pressing
thank you.
it. Yeah, it was just, nobody was touching it, nothing was near it, and I would just be at my desk, and it would just be like, "Ah!" like just by
No.
itself.
Absolutely not. See you
And I
later
was
in
like-
the trash.
Yeah, at first I was like, what is that sound? And I thought it was like
Is
something
that the cat
outside.
again?
Like I thought it was somebody outside because I hadn't pressed it in so long that it wasn't really fresh in my head, and you know, it was up high on a shelf, so I was like, nobody's pressing it, and it just started screaming by itself. So I think I like took out the battery or something because it was just doing weird things.
Is that what it does when like the battery dies? That's how it alerts you?
I think so. Every so often it was just screaming by itself, and I'm like, yeah, either I have a
Horrifying.
ghost or, you know, that really loves
Probably
that
that.
water bottle.
Probably that.
Another must-pack accessory is a portable charger. You will be taking a lot of pictures and using the My Disney Experience app throughout your day, which will very quickly drain your phone battery. Disney Parks uses the fuel rod system. There are kiosks in every park where you can purchase a fuel rod portable charger. You can find fuel rod kiosks for each park on the My Disney Experience app. At these kiosks, you can purchase a charger, or you can also drop a dead charger and replace it immediately for a fully charged one. So you never actually have to charge your own, you just drop your old one, get a new one. This system is very convenient. You can pre-buy fuel rods for slightly cheaper on Amazon before your trip. You can buy them in a single fuel rod, 2-pack, 3-pack, 4-pack, depending how many people are in your family. The more you buy, the cheaper they are. Or you can choose to bring your own portable charger of choice. The fuel rods are just like your basic normal charger. So if your phone is dead or almost dying, it will maybe charge your phone up to like 80% before the battery on the fuel rod is exhausted, and then you'll have to change it out for another one. So it doesn't give you a huge amount of charge, but there are kiosks throughout. There are multiple locations in each park, so you can drop it and get a new one. Unless you prefer to bring your own charger that has a bigger capacity, but they do tend to be bulkier and heavier.
Right.
Do you pay for each charge, or you just switch
No,
them
you
out?
That's what I was going to ask.
You do not pay for each charge. You switch them out for free. So you only pay for the initial charger, and then
You pay once?
Yeah, you pay for the initial charger if you don't already have one. If you bought them on Amazon and brought your own, then you don't have to pay at all in the kiosk. There's literally just a slot that you drop the old one and a new one pops out.
I wish they did that with coffees.
You're on to something.
Oh, yeah, yep. Sponsor me.
I like the wistful look at the water bottle as you did that.
Wishful thinking.
There's some other things to consider packing when traveling to Disney World are reusable straws. The parks generally only use paper straws that get soft and soggy real fast. I carry a pouch with colored straws. I don't know if you remember this, Ron, and a brush with me, so everyone in my party gets their own color, and that's their straw through the whole trip. Now, if you don't want to pack reusable straws, we suggest stashing a handful of straws from the Joffrey's coffee stand. They have environmental friendly straws that are non-paper and so much dirtier. So Ron usually grabs a handful and replaces paper straws with these on every trip. Definite for me. Yeah,
Yes.
they're amazing. I do that too, and then I'll keep some in my book bag.
They're like biodegradable, but they feel like plastic, and they're really, really tough and sturdy. They last the whole, if you're
The ones from Mexico?
the ones from Joffrey's.
Joffrey's.
Like any Joffrey's. Yeah, any Joffrey's coffee stand, which there's a Joffrey's or multiple Joffrey's in every park, but any Joffrey's coffee stand, they have their own straws, and they are not paper. They're like a biodegradable that feels like plastic, but is not. And they don't break down as you're drinking. If you're a slow drinker like me, I like to get like a super big drink, but then I take my time with it. The paper straws just turn to mush and crap like halfway through the drink, and then you can't even take a sip out of it. They're just like wet toilet paper, basically. But the Joffrey's ones last the entire drink. So every time even if I'm not ordering anything, because the straws are usually on a different station where like the condiments are and the napkins are. So every time I pass a Joffrey's, I usually grab a stack of like 5, and then whatever drink they give you. Sometimes they don't even give you a straw at all. So I'll just have the Joffrey's ones in my bag, and I use those every time. They're so good.
So I looked it up, and they're environmentally friendly and biodegradable agave straws made from
Yes.
sugarcane. How
Yes.
cool is that?
Yeah. And they have no flavor. You would think that they're like sweet or something. They have no flavor, but they are really cool and very sturdy. They feel exactly like a plastic straw.
Yeah, that makes sense because it feels like they would be made out of sugarcane or something, just based on the texture,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not the taste. Because like Ron said, there is no taste, but they are super sturdy.
Yeah, and they're kind of like a yellowy color.
Mhm.
They come in like a white paper wrapping, but when you peel the wrapping off, the straw itself is like a distinct color.
Another must-have for me is hand sanitizer and antibacterial wipes for table surfaces. I wipe down everything. And well, maybe not fun fact, but I love them. The Disney Springs hand sanitizers, they smell amazing. They're pricey, but they smell so good. I love the Avatar ones, and every time I go, I buy a new one, and I use that to freshen up my masks while I'm on the trip. And you would know. I mean, Ron would know because she knows me. And so this is the hand sanitizer I use, and I will spray people and be like, smell it. It's from Disney. It smells so good. It's Avatar.
Now, do they sell is there a store that specifically sells like Disney scented hand sanitizers?
It's in the big emporium. What is it? And it has like all the
Okay.
chic. It has like the posters and everything. What is that
Yeah.
called? Ron?
Oh gosh.
The name escapes me right now.
Yeah,
but it has like
I
all the
know what you're
artwork.
talking about. It's
Oh, all the artwork. Okay.
It's not the Disney store. It's the other one that's like more.
They have all the nice kitchen stuff.
Yes,
and,
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they have that little candle section, and in that little candle section, they have like a little table with all the hand sanitizers.
I did not know that. I'm gonna have to check that out.
The co-op, the marketplace co-op.
Yes, that's it. The
Yeah.
co-op. So I believe just because I brought it up because we were like looking it up. So I believe Clover World is Avatar.
Oh,
I'm
cool.
100% sure that's.
Oh, so they're not like named after Disney things. They're like named, I don't know, normal thing.
Normal things.
I don't know, regular.
Yeah,
So
I
like,
think
which one's the
so.
Avatar one?
I think the co-op they use a brand that
Okay.
is it's not like it doesn't come from Disney. It's a specific brand, and all of their scented products are all by that brand, but that brand calls it whatever they want to call it. And
Right.
it's inspired by Disney things, and it's just not like, it doesn't have Disney names on it, and like the actual product itself doesn't have Disney on it. It's just kind
Okay.
of like inspired by, and
Probably cost too much money.
I don't know, probably.
Just because I really do love that hand sanitizer, and it does literally just smell like the Avatar. And I'm gonna be, I don't know what the word is for this. I don't think it's smarmy. I don't know, but fun fact. Our very
Smarmy.
own, I don't know if smarmy is the word, but our fun fact, our very own Ron makes candles. And so she scolds me every time I come home with, I don't buy the candle anymore because she scolded me from buying the candle. So
She did the same to me, you know.
I just do the hand sanitizer because she's like, I make candles and I can just make you an Avatar candle. And I do. I have it actually right next to me.
I do.
Oh my
My company is called Waxbirds Candle Co. It's just waxbirds.com. It should be linked in our link tree as well, I think. If it's not, I'll put it in there. But obviously I'm not
Right
Disney.
under my OnlyFans.
I'm not Disney licensed, so I can't call them Disney things, but I do make a lot of candles inspired by Disney scents and Disney rides and just general Disney theming, along with other fandoms and literary and pop culture references as well. But I'm really, really good at remembering a scent and duplicating it as best as I can, at least what it smells like to me. So whenever my friends are like, "Oh, I really love this scent," I'm like, "I can make it for you. Like, don't waste your money. I can make it for you." Like,
She scolds. She's making it sound like she's nice here. No.
they're right. I'm never nice. I just enjoy kind of like the challenge of making it work, or being able to duplicate it, and I'm never like, pay me, you know, they're my friends, so of course I'm gonna be like, here, just take it, have it. Tell me it's good.
We do pay. Don't
I
think.
think, yeah, right. I think
I don't
went
make
on,
you pay. I do give you a bunch, but like, you know, if you want to toss business my way, I'm never gonna complain about that either.
1,000% use my code, everyone. I have a code, but this is just because we're gonna go right back, I swear, to the packing. But this one's my favorite. I don't know if people are watching online, but it's the Alexandria's Burning Library. Ron knows how I feel. I'm gonna put it in the microphone. Pretend you can smell it, people. But Ron knows how I feel about my favorite ride. You guys know my favorite
Is that
ride.
a fart?
Amanda's favorite park is Epcot, and her favorite ride is Spaceship Earth, and of course the most potent smell on it is the Burning Library of Alexandria, and you know, that smoky fire burning, paper burning smell. So I duplicated it, and I was really, really proud of that one. That's like one of the earlier ones that I made.
It is, yeah. I think that's like my third one of that scent. I love it.
Yeah, I ordered like 2, and you sent me about 10. So I'm very grateful for you, Queen.
Brendan.
Or do I call you Princess? That's Disney. That's more Disney.
Oh, yeah.
Very thankful for you, Princess.
Yeah, Queen's too old. We don't do Queen in the
Oh,
Disney
stop.
World.
When it comes to traveling with my 2 kids, you know, they've grown up going to Disney. We always make it a point to try different snacks, meals, different restaurants, drinks. So we're always getting food all over our clothing. So I think it's great, on top of the wipes, on top of the other toiletries, always bring an extra pair of clothes. You know, pair of underwear, socks. I bring to the park for everybody 2 pairs of socks on top of the ones that they're wearing. Because when it rains at 3 p.m. and your poncho just pours water into your Crocs, you know, you'll be upset if you don't have those 2 extra pairs. So yeah, there are 6 socks sitting in my backpack at any given time at Disney World, plus an outfit for everybody, and of course underwear. 1 pair of underwear per person.
Yeah, that's
Very particular.
Because you're a socks and Crocs guy. I don't wear socks with my Crocs. I just go bare feet in the Crocs. But you're a socks and Crocs guy.
Well, I didn't know you were that much of a savage, but
I am. I'm full savagery. Tootsies.
I
in
think
the
I tried it
wind.
once. I got I got blisters on the top of my foot.
That
from
doesn't happen
yeah.
to me.
Oh man, what is it? The Tiger Balm?
I wasn't the Tiger Balm wearer. I've never used Tiger Balm, and I don't think
Yeah,
I
okay.
ever will now. Like,
Okay, sure.
I will just suffer through whatever aches and pains I have rather than use the Tiger Balm at this point. It was so offensive. It was strong. Strong.
So gross.
This next section is specifically for parents. There are stroller size restrictions. Strollers may not be larger than 31 inches wide and 52 inches long. They are very strict about this. You are allowed to bring double strollers, but they must be within these specifications as well. Wagons are not at all allowed. You can rent strollers at the parks. This is especially good if you have an older child that you think might be able to handle the day, who, if they suddenly become tired midday, you can opt to rent a stroller at that point rather than having the stroller the entire time. Another handy tip is to prepare some small Disney-related toys or pins on the sneaky to minimize the amount of souvenirs that you have to buy. Pre-buy your autograph books online for character signings and bring pens or markers with you for characters to sign them. They're usually much more inexpensive if you pre-buy them than if you buy them in the parks.
So, real quick, I got another Disney hack for you.
Yeah.
Disney allows you to bring in your own food. Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
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 Well, of
Oh,
course-
sorry
course we
guys.
did.
I won't.
Of course we did,
We've been
but
going since
I'm
we were
sure
small
the
children.
listeners don't know that.
Listeners, did you guys know you can bring your own food to Disney World?
No, Brendan, we didn't know. Thank you so much.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about it, okay? No, seriously, that's one of my favorite hacks. That's maybe one of the first things I do after I order the Uber. I'll order the Uber, or what do they call it? The minivan?
If you're on,
And-
if you're on a Disney hotel property, the lift is a mini lift, and they're polka dotted. They're red cars with white polka dots on them.
They have
that pick
bows,
you
too.
up. Yeah, but
Cute.
they do not go to any other surrounding or sister hotels. It actually has to be a Disney property. And at that point, if you're on a Disney property hotel, you have other choices of transportation, like the bus or the Skyliner or a ferry boat or a monorail. So, I mean, if you're already on Disney property, it's very unusual that you might need a lift unless you're like taking a lift to another hotel or something like that if you want to go to a special dinner. Otherwise, if you're at a nearby or neighboring property, you just get a regular boring old Lyft or Uber.
So, again, back to my two children. It gets expensive, feeding everybody, and you know that they're not going to finish their snack. They're not going to finish their meal or drink. So it's great to bring your own stuff. What I do is, like I said, I could be in the Uber on the way to the resort, and I'm on either DoorDash or Instacart. I'm ordering groceries right away. Uncrustables are huge. I think you can find them at the parks, but they're going to be $5 per sandwich. We'll devour Uncrustables throughout the trip, just like the NFL players. Did you see that? No, that's off topic. NFL players, they consume about 100,000 Uncrustables per season.
Holy cow.
So yeah, we get into the Uncrustables. We get into different types of other healthy snacks. We try and add fruit, but fruit doesn't always go well in the heat or if you don't have a cooler. But what would we bring? Bananas.
Yeah, and I don't think
apples,
they let
oranges.
They don't let you bring coolers into the park, but you can bring like an insulated bag or something.
Insulated
like that.
bag, yeah. Liquid IV. I swear by Liquid IV, especially when, again, going back to the half marathon or full marathon worth of distance and steps, your body is trash at the end of the day. If you don't replace those electrolytes, sound like a super nerd right now, but science, you're not going to feel well the next morning, and it's just going to affect the whole trip. So
I've never
definitely
heard of
get
that.
in.
What is that?
Yeah,
Liquid IV.
liquid
Oh,
IV.
so good. It's like a packet.
Sponsor me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like little packets that you add in almost like a Crystal Light. So you can get them flavored, and you
Mhm.
just add them to like your water bottle, and it just turns your regular water into like kind of like a Gatorade equivalent or something like that. It replenishes all of your good stuff and helps like rehydrate your body and rejuvenate like all of the things you've been sweating out.
Oh, so cool. I've never heard of that. Yeah, I'll try that.
I like.
definitely.
I love the ice pop one. You remember the red, white, and blue like ice pops?
Yeah.
That's my favorite flavor right now. I have like one a day just to keep up on my hydration and my nutrient intake, but they're huge for Disney.
Yeah, and I personally, I have had gastric sleeve surgery. So as a bariatric patient traveling to the parks, I eat very, very small portions. I often order a children's meal. I don't finish meals. I try to order, knowing that I am not going to finish something, I try to order something that that will keep and I can toss in my backpack and finish later. But just to hold me off throughout the day, I'll pack like a protein bar or like beef sticks or something like that I can just nosh on, and that's usually enough to hold me off before I need a meal. Those things are just really easy to pack, small, they keep well in the heat, and they're just good options for having something kind of nutritious that you're not just like eating crap all day.
Right, yeah. Why is there Mexican street corn in my backpack?
Oh man, I always finish the Mexican street corn. I'm obsessed with all types of corn. If there is corn, I will order it. And I always finish it, no matter what. That is the one thing that I will never leave a bit behind and be like, ooh, I'm full, I'll throw this away. Like, I will power through the corn every time. There's never leftover.
Up until recent, I didn't know they had utensils at the Mexican quick service restaurant there, because I drank the corn out of the cup.
Oh my god!
I actually have a little corn buddy on my desk.
Hey, corn buddy!
Look at him.
What's his name?
He doesn't have a name. I never named him, but I feel like it needs alliteration, right? Like Kyle Corn or something like that, right? Like I have to think of a good name for him, but.
Yeah, we'll cut that out.
He lives next to me at all times because I love corn so much. But, so the Mexican stand that used to sell the esquites is the corn that comes off the cob in a cup. That's how it used to come, and I loved it, especially because it's easier to eat when you're wearing lipstick. It's hard to eat like corn on the cob. You get it like all over your face. So I liked the esquites because it was in the cup. They don't sell it like that anymore. They now sell it on the cob. Yes. For the last couple years, they've sold it.
Don't let Kyle Corn see you doing that.
I know. For the last couple years, they've sold it on the cob. There was one time that I went to the stand and I said, you don't make the esquites anymore. And they were like, no, but we can make it for you. We can give you a cup of it. So they actually put it in a cup for me. But I think I just lucked out with like a nice person that day.
Yeah.
I don't think they normally do that. But now it's on the cob. They don't have it in the cup anymore. And I was bummed about that.
That was your Disney wish for the day.
Yeah.
Can you please shuck my corn?
Yeah. I exhausted my Disney magic for the day in that they took it off the cob for me.
That's why there were no fireworks that night, because you needed corn off the cob.
Garrison.
All right. If you're visiting the parks with things you don't need until later, so, like the packed lunches they were just talking about, the sweaters for the night, Kyle Corn, there are lockers at the entrance. There are lockers at the entrance. Accidentally killed him. You're okay, buddy? Like, you turned really red.
I'm sorry if I'm coughing into the microphone. Oh man, right tube.
I've never brought Kyle Corn to the parks, but now I feel like he needs to go.
Yeah. Oh my god, you could do the picture like in every.
Oh God.
And I'll take a picture with the corn. Like, because I always get the one at Mexico, and I also always get the one in Africa in Animal Kingdom. That one is really good.
Bring a whiteboard with you, and then like write how to say corn in every language, like all 11 languages.
Cute.
Oh my God, yes.
God. So there are lockers at every entrance of every park you can rent for $10 to $15 a day, depending on the size of the locker. So you can enter and exit the lockers as many times as you want in a day. You don't need to carry everything and all that weight all day long. You can also store any purchased items here as well. Those stores also have the capability of shipping items directly to your home. If you prefer, you just incur the shipping cost. That's especially great. They'll offer it usually, I've noticed, like if it's a bigger, either more expensive ticket item or a physically larger item, they will offer to ship it either to your hotel room if you're staying on property, or ship it home for you. Now, the only issue with the locker is that you will have to walk all the way back to and from that locker to retrieve those items, which just consider where you'll be at any time of day. So you might be too far out when you actually really need these items.
Another tip is if your hotel has a fridge, which almost all of them do, buy or have delivered some extra waters or Gatorades and freeze them overnight so that each member of your party can enter the park with a cold drink already. A frozen bottled drink will stay cold long enough to enjoy at least throughout the morning and early afternoon without having to purchase anything for a while. Plus, it definitely comes in handy on particularly hot days just to have a cold thing to like put on your neck, or if it's in your backpack, you kind of feel it cool on your back and it keeps you cool for a bit throughout the morning.
Some things you can leave at home. So Band-Aids, Tylenol, over-the-counter medications. There's a first aid location in every park, and they provide all these things as needed for free. I even remember the one time I needed Tylenol in Animal Kingdom, and the lady was like super nice. She was like, take this. I'm not saying which, just in case. I'm not saying which lady. Just that she was like, take this one. Super cute, super sweet. You can even stop in if you don't need them in the moment, if you just want to have them in your bag or bring them back to your hotel to use the next day. But do bring moleskin or blister band-aids if your feet tend to blister or crack. So this year I brought my Grogu band-aids. I got them here. I brought specific Grogu band-aids
I
for
have those.
For the parks. You have them? They're so cute. And they completely 1,000% came in clutch considering like the sneaker issue I just brought up. But if you do suffer from blisters, I personally love the Hydro Seal band-aids. I find those to be the best. And I can't stress this enough for anyone else who suffers from long COVID. Please bring your medications with you as well. The last place you want to need your inhaler and not have it is in the Florida heat, halfway through an hour line of the Jungle Cruise. No bueno.
I second the blister band-aids, especially because they tend to have this crazy adhesive that they just stay on forever. So even if you're swimming or your feet get wet in the rain or your shoes are rubbing, they do tend to stay on longer, so you don't have to keep like reapplying a new band-aid throughout the day. But yeah, the first aid station has tons and tons of stuff. I think they have allergy medicine, like dizziness, seasick stuff. They have Tylenol. They have all, they ask you what you prefer, if it's like Advil or Tylenol or whatever. They have everything. They have
Molly.
Yeah, definitely not that.
Don't do that.
That's not recommended at Disney parks, I'm sure.
Well, never mind.
Not by official employees, at least.
We'll cut that out.
Will we? Will we?
We'll leave it in.
But also, if you're packing a handbag or backpack, my biggest recommendation is to make sure that it is water resistant.
Yeah.
Most hotels do have an iron, but if you hate ironing, pack a travel size Downy wrinkle release. I 1,000% swear by these. I literally buy one for everyone when we go to Disney. I'm not joking. Like, traveling with Amanda means you will get your own color straw, you'll get your own Downy wrinkle release, you'll get your own cottonelle like wipe. No tiger bumps. I'm not that friend. That wasn't me. And last, my personal favorite last optional pack item is to bring an Instax camera. The security guard told me to definitely take it out of my bag and hold it up while I'm going through security. Otherwise, your bag will be flagged. And that's what I've done. Like, no one likes that. No one likes being stopped. So I just will physically carry it outside of me, just held out in front of me as I go through the security check. The same thing is true for umbrellas and large portable chargers. Now, I like to carry the Instax because you get little souvenirs, and I just give them to my friends and family at the end of the day, and everything's all set. I do like to carry like a little case to keep the photos safe from that 3 p.m. rain shower. But other than that, that's all you need.
How about this? When you get those pictures printed out of that camera, the instant camera, have a character autograph the bottom.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That sounds so much fun.
Yeah, and then you'd have like a memory of like all of the characters. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I just realized I've never done the character photos with the. I've never done.
Try it. I want to see how it comes out.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so can I mention the Disney Experience app?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please do.
They don't pay me to say this, but sponsor me. No, the My Disney Experience app, definitely download that. You can link your tickets. You can link your on-property resort door key to it. All you really need is your ID if you're going to the park. If you're gonna drink, but other than that, you really don't need to bring anything. They have Apple Pay everywhere, and again, you can tap to open the lock on your door. Everything's so easy there through the My Disney Experience app.
All right. Is there anything else we want to say before we close out?
Well, I'm going to leave you guys with a cliffhanger here, if I could.
Is it your toes?
No. Oh my God! Look at those things. Look at those dogs. He's a tiger bomb.
I'm glad you live very far away from me right now. If you're putting tiger balm on your
It's only a couple hours. If you can see this here, I have all these different autographed props around me that I wanted to have like in the background or in your video. So this is my Paul Rudd Ant-Man helmet. Paul Rudd signed this in New York at New York Comic Con, actually.
Oh my God, Veronica, that's your other boyfriend.
I know. I have two celebrity crush dream boyfriends. One is Paul Rudd, and my probably number one is Jack Black.
Oh, Jack Black. That's so fun.
I know.
I haven't met Jack Black, but Paul Rudd was so nice.
I met him at the Goosebumps.
No way.
Yeah. So I met him and R.L. Stine. They did a Barnes & Noble tour for Goosebumps when the Goosebumps movie came out. And
no way.
So I brought like an old Goosebumps book, and I bought the new one, and they signed the books, and I got to meet both of them, and he is exactly like that in real life, like watching him interact with different people, and like just it's not a persona that he puts on, like that's really just what he's like, and he's so genuine and so kind and so nice to everyone. To hear. Yeah, really cool. It was a really great experience, and I wish I got like more time to talk to him, but
mm-hmm.
But yeah, and
isn't it like the FOMO you get afterwards?
You're
like,
oh,
I'm gonna relive this. Yeah. I'm gonna relive this for the rest of my life.
Forget your wife. You love me now.
What else do I got? So, what is it? The 30th anniversary of a Goofy movie? Did you guys see that documentary?
I didn't see the documentary yet, but I did see that the D23 website was saying that there's events. I actually just have the link open. There are events going on where they're playing a Goofy movie in theaters, but it's like a special ticketed event, and it says there's a big screen presentation of a Goofy movie with interactive fan-powered moments, an exclusive activation kit filled with interactive surprises and themed goodies to make your movie experience extra magical, a limited edition Lester Possum Park pennant, a commemorative Powerline concert ticket with lanyard, a limited edition Goofy movie pin, photo opportunities inspired by scenes from the film, and exclusive content, trivia, and more.
That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, that sounds so cool.
But I have a script from the movie. It's signed by Bill Farmer, the voice of Goofy, Jason Marsden, and Jim Cummings, he's the voice of Pete, but he's also the voice of so many other characters we grew up loving.
A lot of Pooh characters, right?
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh, yeah.
It's Pooh Bear, yeah.
But so many others. If you go to his one of his credential pages, you'd be shocked to see how many voices they snuck in of his. Look at
Oh,
this
that's
bad
cool.
boy. I don't know the Moginator, do they call it? Signed by Tom Hiddleston, Loki. But
Uh-huh.
I have so many Disney props and artifacts. You'll have to invite me back for a special episode.
Yes. Well, we will be doing a live podcast recording at PAX East in early May. So it will not be about Disney travel, but it will be about Disney games because it is a gaming convention.
Yeah.
So that'll be a little special extra added episode, and Brendan will be joining us for that. And hopefully
You heard it here.
Yeah, hopefully you will be joining us again for future episodes. I'll send you our ideas list and you can tell me what you feel you
I'm in.
want to join us on.
I'm in. I'll bring the tiger bomb.
Okay. I'll bring Kyle Corn.
Yeah. And you bring your straws, okay?
Thanks, Brendan, for joining us today. I'm sure everyone
Thanks for having
enjoyed
me.
hearing you as a guest on this episode as much as we
They
love
better.
having you. We hope you all found this information helpful and that you follow along with us on all our socials, Instagram, YouTube, and your favorite podcast provider at WonderDreamWander.
We appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, turn on notifications, or leave a comment on any of our channels.
If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for us or the pod, you can email us at wonderdreamwander@gmail.com.
Don't forget to sprinkle a little pixie dust on your day. And remember, the magic is just a podcast away.
Until next time, keep wondering, dreaming, and wandering.
Bye, everyone.
You did your jazz hands?
Yeah, I panicked.